Hi, this is Carol Stewart. In this video, I'm going to talk about some of the applications and ways to use Padlet. In the last video, I went into how to create your account and then how to go about doing the teacher setups once you make your first Padlet to set it for your classroom. So here we're going to go into my demo here. This is a Padlet that I created. And remember, whenever a student or you want to add a post, you just click down here in the right-hand corner, the plus sign, and it pops up an empty box for you to start posting on. I'm going to show you a couple of my Padlets that I've had in the past. And also, there's so many new options that Padlet has added here. They really can do so many things, adding links and filming and all kinds of stuff. So it's really similar in some ways to Flipgrid. Um, Okay, so my first thing that I would like to talk to you about is response, and I put these two here for my response to literature and maybe responding to an image. So if you're asking students to do that, here's an example. We read a book called Out of My Mind and listened to a song about being brave. And the kids were able to respond to that. Again, reminding kids to use their name as their title, and then your post will look like this. It's just a really neat way for kids to build on each other's ideas and see what other kids are, how they're responding, and be able to write at the same time. Okay, and then the directions here are not limited. You really can write quite a bit up here in this directions area. So if you have more to write as far as what you want them to produce, you can. Um, the next thing I want to talk about is exit tickets. Actually, this exit ticket was given to me through Flipgrid, having the kids write or explain three idioms that they know. That could also be done pretty easily on a Padlet like this. They could either write it or they could, oops, excuse me, they could go and record themselves as well. Um, it can also be used as a pre-assessment, like what do you already know about fractions? And they could either write about it or they could video themselves to explain what they know. And the videos can hold up to 5 minutes. Um, all right, the next category I was going to talk about is opinions or brainstorming. Now, in classrooms, oftentimes it's really hard to, you have to wait for hands and at the time it takes to write it down. This is such a neat way to just get a bunch of ideas out all at once. In this case, we were trying to, before we met our buddies, we wanted to figure out what we should ask them. And as you see, most of the kids start building on the same favorite, favorite, favorite. But over here, you get to be some like deeper kind of cool questions and stuff so that they, as a class, you can kind of like bring their attention over to that person's post. The other thing that I noticed is that students who tend to be quieter in class, you really get a lot more buy-in and feedback. You get to see a lot more of what everyone is saying. The other thing is when you're trying to brainstorm just ideas, either topics for writing or in this case, Genius Hour ideas, kids start posting and then they can build off each other. And we really tell them to, highlight or really value building on each other's ideas so they can see what the kiddos are doing and maybe write about their inquiry based questions. Um, the next thing that I'm going to talk about is doing like book suggestions or book reviews, or even just sharing your work. As you can see here, I'm just holding up a card with a picture of myself, but you could show that the kids could do art and they can show their own work and then maybe do a little writing about it, or a book to describe their favorite book. They could hold up the cover and then write about it here. Um, Alrighty, let's see here. There's a couple of other new added versions under this button here. Down at the bottom, drawing, you can add a place, you can link to another Padlet. There's just a lot of things, screen recordings. Over on the right-hand side here, I inserted a map of the West Davis Pond. Today, I heard that there was a small brown bear and animal control is looking to capture it so that it's safe. So that would make a really neat news article. Kids could use a map of anywhere and make a news article. There's also drawing. Um, my week attempt of making numbers, they could do some math on here. They could draw pictures on here. There's a white background or black background in their choice. So there's a drawing place. And again, it's always a place to do something and then also write about what it is. All right. The most important thing I think I'd like to say is that especially in our distance learning, it is so important that we set up routines. And I really value that in keeping things simple for kids. So this isn't meant to say, you, to throw all these things at everybody, but just that there's so many endless possibilities and options so that when you want a little variety or change up about how students show their work, these are available. And of course, your coaches are always available to work with you and alongside you. So if you have any questions or if you'd like to share what's going well for your class, we would love to hear from you.